Welcome to the GCI Conference Center. Thank you. Please stand by. You will now be placed into conference. There are 23 participants in the conference.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Director Klinkart,
Yes.
and I just got a message from Ms. Wilson. She's going to call into the executive session.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So you'll be able to text her when we go there?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Schulte, are you in line? Okay. Maybe Mr. Schulte's calling directly into the executive session too. Well, we'll wait just a minute. Mr. Schulte, are you on? Okay, Mr. Klinkart, are we recording?
Great. Can you confirm?
Yes, we are recording.
Okay, thank you very much. It is 9 a.m. on April 3rd, and I am calling the Marijuana Control Board meeting to order. Just for the record, and I didn't say it yesterday, given that we are on teleconference and we do have a requirement to meet in each judicial district, we have at least two members that are in Anchorage, and so this is one of our required meetings for the judicial district that I believe Anchorage is in, and I can't remember which one. I think it's, so maybe Ms. Craig can look that up as she does the minutes. So this morning, we are going to convene an open session. We're going to recess into executive session here in a minute to deal with top shelf herbs, a continuation of that discussion. And so, Mr. Schulte, are you online? Okay. So I need a motion for us to go into executive session. If I could have that motion, please.
This is Jaime. I'll make a motion for the Marijuana Control Board move to executive session.
Okay. Mr. Jaime, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. Then we will disconnect from this. You all have the number from yesterday for the executive session. For those many others that are on the line, I don't know how long this is going to take. I believe last night I mentioned probably 9:45. It may be a little bit earlier than that. But we will probably, I will just set a time that if we're done early in the executive session, we probably will not sign on to the public session until at least 9:30, so that people have a time certain if you have other business to deal with. So with that, we will disconnect, go into executive session, and hopefully be back at 9:30. So thanks all, and the board and other staff can call into the executive line. Thank you. Bye.
The chairperson has disconnected. The conference will now end. Welcome to the GCI Conference Center. Please enter. Thank you. Please stand by. You will now be placed into conference. There are 21 participants in the conference.
Mr. Schulte, are you online?
Yes.
Mr. Miller, are you online?
Yes.
Mr. Jaime, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Mr. DeShook, are you online?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Wilson, are you online? Ms. Wilson, are you online? Okay. All right. So, are we recording, Ms. Craig?
This is Ms. Craig. We are on and recording. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, this is the chair, and it is 9:52 a.m., and we are back in open session for the Marijuana Control Board on April 3rd, 2020. We have left executive session at 9:51. For the record, we had another executive session on Top Shelf. Top Shelf Herbs of Alaska LLC, and we are in open session. Is there any action on part of the board?
Mr. Chairman? I
Mr. Schulte.
move to approve application number 22150 Top Shelf, approved with delegation, license number 22150 Top Shelf Herbs of Alaska. Schulte.
Okay.
And this is Jaime, I will second it.
All right. It's been moved and seconded to approve with delegation license 22150 Top Shelf Herbs of Alaska LLC. Mr. Schulte, your vote, please.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
No.
Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
And I'm a no. So that motion passes 3-2, and that license is approved. Okay, I believe, Ms. Craig, we had one other issue, and is Ms. Wilson online? Ms. Wilson, are you online? Okay, the other issue that got raised toward the end of the meeting yesterday was regarding tabs 29 and 30, the license for Green Degree and for Next Degree. And I believe the action we took on those two licenses were to table till June. It was raised by the applicant for us to consider that we might be violating the 90-day issue with the application by pushing this to June. And I believe it, if I read the law correctly, it did say within 45 to 90 days after receiving the application or renewal, the board shall issue an annual registration unless the board finds the applicant is not in compliance with the regulations or the board is notified by relevant local government the applicant is not in compliance. And I believe we have also added in other protests, which we know is potentially coming. So I personally feel that we have met the 90 days. We have reviewed it. We have some questions, but that is my opinion. And is there any board discussion or any motion to change our action on license 23988 Green Degree and license 23989 the Next Degree?
To the chair, this is Kirby Coleman here. I'm on the line. I also have my attorney Neil Ainsworth present. And I actually wanted to ask if you guys could consider possibly approving with delegation. Is that something that might take place because that may be an option?
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Leave that up to the board. Is there any board discussion, or is there any motion on those two licenses? Okay, hearing none, then that issue stands and we will move forward in our agenda. So we last ended with tab 39, Great Land Ganja.
Mr. Chair, if I may jump in really quick, this is Carrie Craig. You did want me to remind you to see if the licensee from Danish Garden was available.
Yes.
So I did send them an email yesterday afternoon at 4:05 requesting that they would be present, and I do have some history of notifications if you were interested.
Okay. So that was under, how far back? That was under license renewals?
Correct.
Okay. I'm trying to find the right page here. Can you tell me what tab that was?
I think it's page 10, about
38.
38, yeah.
38.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right. Okay, got it. So is Danish Gardens on the line? And I'm hearing my own voice echoed back. I apologize. Hopefully that's not disturbing anybody else. Is Danish Gardens online? Okay, they are not online. So we will check back in before we get done. Director Klinkart?
Yeah, that echo is caused by somebody who's not on mute. So if you could please remind people again, thank you.
Okay, people could put their phones on mute. That would be helpful. Somebody did that. I no longer hear my echo. Okay, so we will move forward today with tab number 40, Pine Street Cannabis Company. Mr. Klinkart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Croy Enterprises, LLC, doing business as Pine Street Cannabis Company, a standard marijuana cultivation facility, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attaches MJ15 operating change application and current operating plan page. Additionally, attaches Form MJ14 license premises diagram change in case it's needed by the board for reference. This MJ14 was approved. Over.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Yeah, move to approve the changes to the operating plan for license number 10137 Pine Street Cannabis.
Okay. Is there an applicant available for Pine Street Cannabis online? Is there anybody from Pine Street Cannabis Company online? Okay, our practice has been not to take action when somebody is not here. This has been temporarily approved, so they are currently operating under this. So if the board doesn't have any objection, I would ask that we go ahead and vote even though the applicant is not here. But if somebody has a particular question that they want to ask, then we can not take a vote and move this to later on in the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, this is Jaime.
Yes.
I would like to wait until the applicant is online.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Gregg, if you would contact them, and then we will come back to them before we get done with the operating plan changes. Okay. So we
Mr. Chairman,
are...
just to confirm, the reason I'm saying that is, even though they were temporarily approved, if they're not online to, with us to discuss this application, even if you don't have questions, then we need to put an end date to that temporary approval.
Okay.
So that's what I'd like to
Fine,
avoid.
Sure, Mr. Hyman, that, we will do that, but we will, do that if they're not on when we are done with these issues.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are at, license, for Top Hat Concentrates LLC, tab 41, license 10271. Mr. Klinkhart.
One moment, there it is. Okay. 10271, Top Hat Concentrates LLC, a standard marijuana cultivation facility, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is the Form MJ15 operating plan change and current approved pages from the operating plan. Temporary approval on this was given.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move to approve operating plan change for license number 10271, Top Hat Concentrates. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there somebody from Top Hat Concentrates on the line?
Good morning. This is Jan Waldine, attorney for Top Hat Concentrates, and John Nemeth is also on the line.
Okay. Are there any questions of the applicants from the board?
I just want to point out that Nug Smasher is a great name for a rosin press.
I thought so too.
Okay, if there are no questions, then on the motion to approve the operating plan change for license 10271, Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Hyme?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we are on to tab 42, Alaska Herb Garden, license 10647, Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, Eden Management Group, LLC, doing business as Alaska Herb Garden, a standard marijuana cultivation facility in the municipality of Anchorage, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is Form MJ15 operating plan change and current approved pages from the operating plan. Temporary approval was granted. Over.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve operating plan change for license number 10647, Alaska Herb Garden.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. DeShock.
Okay, there's a second from Mr. DeShuck. Is there anybody online from Alaska Herb Garden?
Yep. Jana Waldine, attorney for Alaska Herb Garden, and Lloyd Tanasi is on the line too.
Okay. Are there any questions for the applicant from the board?
No, not for me.
Okay, hearing no questions of the board, then on the motion to approve the operating plan change for license 10647 Alaska Herb Garden. Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Hyme?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I'm a yes. So, we will move on to Raspberry Roots. I assume just in the past that Ms. Wilson will be staying on the phone here.
Correct.
So we are
and Kim Cole is on the line too.
Yeah. So we are on Raspberry Roots, license 10856, tab number 43. Mr. Klinkhart.
Raspberry Roots, LLC, doing business as Raspberry Roots, a marijuana product manufacturing facility in the municipality of Anchorage, is requesting approval of amendments to one of its products. Attached is Form MJ15 operating plan and current approved product. Temporary approval was granted.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move to approve the changes proposed, license number 10856, Raspberry Roots. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Miller. Still having trouble with your mute button?
I am.
Okay. Ms. Wilsine is on the line, and Ms. Cole's on the line. Are there any questions from the board of the applicant?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Schulte.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Schulte.
Okay. Very quickly, so I'm looking at the MJ5, Section 2. It says cannabis serving size will be between 0.5 grams and 7 grams. Does that mean total weight, or? Oh, I guess it would have to. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I just answered my own question. I thought when I was looking at potency, you're not looking at total weight. Please disregard.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Jaime.
On the same section right above that, it says a homogenized mixture. Can you explain what that is?
Yes. Okay, I am off mute. Okay, so basically the concept is that we're going to grind up the immature buds just like you would for a regular pre-roll, and then we are going to add in the measured out and weighed out amount of both the oil and the keef and mix them together, and then stuff it all into either the blunt wrap, the hemp wrap, the standard cone, the flavored cone, whatever it is we decide. That's why it says or equivalent, so it gives us a couple of different options. And that way it all stays inside the cone instead of potentially falling off like some of the other people have encountered.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions of the applicant? Okay, so on the motion to approve the operating plan changes for license 10856 Raspberry Roots, Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I gotta change pages here in my notes. Get to the right place. Okay, we are on tab 44. Cloudberry Cannabis, license 11547. Mr. Klinkert.
Members of the board, Cloudberry Cannabis, a retail marijuana store in the municipality of Anchorage, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is MJ15 operating plan change application and current operating plan. Additionally, attached is Form MJ14 license premises diagram change in case it's needed by the board for reference. Temporary approval was given for the MJ15. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the changes proposed for license number 11547, Cloudberry Cannabis.
Okay, who is online for Cloudberry Cannabis? Is anybody online for Cloudberry Cannabis? Okay, hearing none, we will move that down in the agenda behind Pine Street Cannabis and move on to tab 45, which is Northern Lights Cultivation 2, license number 12173. Mr. Klinkart.
Members of the board, Northern Lights Cultivation 2, a standard marijuana cultivation facility, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is MJ15 operating plan change application, as well as current approved operating plan. Temporary approval was granted. Additionally, license premises diagram change was submitted along with this change and was approved. It is attached for reference for the board. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 12173, Northern Lights Cultivation. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Miller. Is anybody online from Northern Lights Cultivation 2? Anybody online from Northern Lights Cultivation 2? From Ketchikan. Okay, we will move that down the agenda. We are now on tab 46, AKO Farms, LLC, license 12253. Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, AKO Farms, LLC, a standard marijuana cultivation facility in the city and borough of Sitka, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan supplemental. Attached is Form MJ15 operating plan change and the current operating plan page. Temporary approval was granted. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 12253, AKO Farms. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Miller. Is there anybody online from AKO Farms, LLC?
This is Justin Brown, owner of AKO Farms.
Justin, welcome. Are there any questions of the applicant from the board?
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Schulte.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the MJ15, and it references hydrazine enzyme clean roots.
Yes, sir.
And then it lists,
Hydrozyme.
okay, and then it lists a pesticide. So is this a nutrient or a pesticide, or are we talking both?
The pesticide is for the plant therapy, and the hydrozyme is just the enzyme.
Okay, all right, thanks. So I thought I read somewhere that was just the addition of, okay, yeah, because up above it says changing the nutrients. But so this is twofold. You're changing the nutrients and adding a pesticide, which I interpret to mean is on the list of approved pesticides that DEC has provided.
Yes, sir. It's just spearmint oil is what it is.
Oh, is that what that is? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thanks. That was my only question. Thanks.
Okay, are there any other questions of the applicant from the board? Okay, so on the motion to approve the operating plan changes for AKO Farms, LLC, license 12253, Mr. DeShook?
Yeah.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Let's see here. Okay, so we are now on to tab 47, Glacier Bay Farms, license number 12680. Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, Glacier Bay Farms, a standard marijuana cultivation facility, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is MJ15 operating plan change app and current operating plan. Temporary approval was granted, and there is the MJ14 approved and available as reference. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Sorry, I'm muted now. Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 12680, Glacier Bay Farms. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second, DeShock.
Okay, thank you. Who's online from Glacier Bay Farms? Anyone online from Glacier Bay Farms in Haines? Okay, we will move that down the list. So now we are at tab 48. Secret Garden Cannabis, license 12769. Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, Secret Garden Cannabis, a marijuana product manufacturing facility in the municipality of Anchorage, is requesting approval of amendments to 3 of its products. Attached is Form MJ15 operating plan change and the current approved products. Temporary approval has already been granted. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 12769, Secret Garden Cannabis. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Bishop.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody online from Secret Gardens Cannabis?
It's Jana Malpine, attorney for Secret Garden Cannabis, and James Thornton is on the line. James, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'd like to thank the board for being together today and allowing us to continue on.
Okay. All right. Is there any questions of the applicants from the board? I believe the three products are Garden Gummies, Green Acres Oil, and Green Acres Vape Pen.
This is Jaime. I do have a question.
Sure.
I apologize. Sir.
No problem.
You're
on.
Okay. My only concerns with this garden gummies, those actually look a lot like Lifesavers, and I would hope that an actual photograph of the gummies are presented to the ample office investigators prior to approval of this product.
Through the chair?
Ms. Wellseen.
Yes, those pictures will be sent before this goes to the market. And so as you see, we say that the actual product colors are going to be muted. And so when we send those product pictures to enforcement, so that they have an actual representation of what's going on to the shelf, they will be reflective of that muted color.
Mr. Jaime, do you have any follow-up or any other question?
No, that sounds good. I didn't hear the original motion. Well, I don't recall what the original motion was. Was it just to approve, or was it to approve the delegation?
The motion was to approve.
All right, I'd like to amend the motion to state that it's with delegation.
Okay, is there a second to that amendment?
Second.
Okay. Is there any objection to adding with delegation?
Nope.
Did I hear a yes to an objection?
No, I made the original motion,
Okay.
and I'm not objecting to adding that.
Okay.
It's with
All right.
delegation.
All right. Then the motion before us then is to approve the operating plan changes with delegation. And are there any other questions of the applicant? Okay. Even though these have been temporarily approved, I'm going to take the motion with delegation is that the delegation is that there will be some pictures of the actual product, especially with the gummies, to adequately reflect that they are more muted colors and have less reference to Lifesavers. With that, then, on the motion to approve the operating plan changes with delegation for Secret Gardens Cannabis, license 12769. Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I need to get my act together here a little bit. It is 10:20, and we've been either in executive session or on the line. So I am going to suggest that we take 5 minutes for walk around or whatever we need to do. I'll advise everybody to stay on the line, and I will reconvene us at 10:25. Thank you.
Who's got jokes?
It's all that Carol Baskin fault.
Okay, I show it is 10:25. I will call the Marijuana Control Board back to order. I am going to assume that all of our board members are present and back online. I'm not going to take the time to do the roll here. Okay, so we are on to tab 49. Alaska Frontier Cannabis, LLC, license 14396, and these are operating plan changes. And so, Mr. Klinkart.
Members of the board, temporary approval has been given to Alaska Frontier Cannabis, LLC, a standard marijuana cultivation facility in the Mat-Su Borough, and they are requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is MJ15 operating plan change application and its current operating plan. Additionally, attached is MJ14. Over.
Okay, is there a motion? Is there a motion from the board on license 14396?
Motion to approve.
Is motion to approve from Mr. Miller. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Who's online for Alaska Frontier Cannabis?
Yeah, this is Kirby, our operating manager.
Also, Christina Halleck, the attorney for Robert Mays, the majority owner of Alaska Frontier Cannabis.
Neil Ainsworth, attorney for Kirby Coleman.
Okay. And could you repeat your name, the first attorney? I know I had it yesterday, but my notes are gone.
Sure, Christina Halleck.
Christina Halleck, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, and we'd appreciate being heard on this matter.
Okay. So we have a motion on this, and so I will give Ms. Halleck, you have a couple of minutes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Robert Mays is the majority owner of Alaska Frontier Cannabis, and Mr. Coleman is the manager, but he has no authority to submit these applications to AMCO without prior notice given to Mr. Mays, as well as obtaining Mr. Mays' prior approval. None of that happened in this case. And so Mr. Mays is asking to withdraw the premises or the operating plan change application, the MJ-15, or that this board deny it. He is also asking that the director withdraw his approval of MJ-14, the premises diagram change, because it was also submitted without prior notice or authorization given by Mr. Mays.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Coleman?
Yeah, we have given him prior notice, and I have our operating agreement here that I am elected as serving as manager, and here under our operating agreement that has been turned into enforcement as well as Marijuana Control Board. Says the manager of the company shall have all rights to bind company contracts, including leases, loans, sales, and banking. All members will be informed prior to any such actions being taken place. That did take place on multiple occasions. One was in front of the troopers when he was actually trespassing on the property.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I speak?
Please.
Can I rebut?
Yes, thank you. We, of course, dispute whether prior approval was given to Mr. Mays. Mr. Mays says that it was not, and also in the also in the operating agreement, there is a part that says no manager has authority to engage in any of the following acts unless it was approved in advance by the other members. And the other acts include to sell, lease, exchange, mortgage, pledge, or otherwise transfer or dispose of all or substantially all of the property or assets of the company. And this premise diagram change is essentially giving up lease rights and property and assets of the company without prior approval or notice given to Mr. Mays.
Real fast, this is Jaime. Who just spoke?
That was Christine Halleck. She is the representing Mr. Mays. And I believe there was somebody asked for a rebuttal. I assume that's the attorney from Mr. Coleman.
No, I'd like to speak. Attorney Neil Ainsworth for Mr. Coleman. Notice was given. I gave it directly to the attorney that this was occurring per another agreement. We were responsible for giving Mr. Mays back his property per another agreement. We're doing exactly what Mr. Mays agreed to. His attorney knows that in another document, which he signed, giving him back the original property that he had. And Mr. Coleman does have the authority to do that, is acting within his responsibility of the documents.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any questions from board members for the applicant?
This is Jaime again. I really don't have a question for the applicant, just a quick statement. I believe we need to approve this application based on the facts, and if there's any other issues, there's civil opportunity between the two parties, which we should not concern ourselves with.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions of any party at this point?
This is Kirby Coleman here. I am just curious.
Kirby, I'm asking for the board members if they have any questions of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hearing no questions of the applicant, you've heard the discussion from the applicant's attorney, and an opposing attorney. We have a motion to approve the operating plan change as submitted. So, Mr. Deshuk, on the motion.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte? Mr. Schulte? Did we lose Mr. Schulte? Okay, and I will be a no vote. Motion passes 3-1. And if Ms. Craig would note that we did not hear from Mr. Schulte on this vote. Okay, so we will move on to tab 50, Urban Extracts LLC, license number 14432. Mr. Klinkert.
Urban Extracts LLC, a marijuana product facility, manufacturing facility in the city of Kenai, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attaches MJ15 operating plan change app and current operating plan. Additionally, attaches the MJ14. Temporary approval was given for the MJ15. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve operating plans changes for Urban Extracts, license number, help me out, Mr. Jones.
14432.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Jaime will second.
Is there a second? Okay, second from Mr. Jaime. Mr. Schulte, are you online? I wonder if he's having trouble getting signed back in or got disconnected or his mute's not working. Okay, is there anybody online from Urban Extracts LLC?
Yes, Jana Waltine, attorney, and Lisa Cote is on the phone.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here.
Thank you. Are there any questions of the applicants from the board? Okay, hearing no questions of the applicant, the motion is to approve the operating plan changes for Urban Extracts LLC, license 14432. Mr. DeShook?
Yeah.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte? And I'm a yes. So it passes four affirmative votes. Again, record that Mr. Schulte was not voting.
I'm back. Sorry, I got.
Okay. All right. So we just took that vote. We'll just show that you were not back on, and we'll move on. It did pass. So
Thank you very much.
You bet. So we're on tab 51, and I know I'm using mine, and hopefully everybody can keep up. Tanana Herb Company, license 14467. And this is, again, operating plan change. Mr. Klinkert.
Members of the board, Tanana Herb Company LLC, a standard marijuana cultivation facility within the city of Fairbanks, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached is the MJ15 operating plan change application as well as its current operating plan. Additionally, attached to the MJ14. Temporary approval was given. Over.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 144.
We've just been doing everything under sales and been typing the product.
Tanana Herb Company.
Okay. If people would mute their phone and not have conversations in the back, that would be good. So, who is online from Tanana Herb Company, LLC? Is anybody online from Tanana Herb Company, LLC, license 14467? Okay, we will move that down. We are on to tab 52. Two Birds, One Stoned, license 17445. Mr. Klinkert. Mr. Klinkert.
Yeah, members of the board, Dreaming Tree Farms LLC, doing business as Two Birds, One Stone, a limited marijuana cultivation facility in Fairbanks, North Star Borough, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan. Attached to the MJ15 application and their current operating plan page. Additionally, MJ14 license plan diagram change also there, and temporary approval was given for the MJ15. Over.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the proposed changes. License number 17445, Two Birds, One Stone. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Miller. Is there anybody online from Two Birds, One Stoned? Okay. We're on to tab 53. Mikey's Place LLC, license 19204. Mr. Klinkert.
Members of the board, Mikey's Place LLC, a standard marijuana cultivation facility in the Matsu Borough, is requesting approval of amendments to its operating plan attached to the MJ15 and its current plan page. Additionally, the Form MJ14 is also there for reference. Temporary approval was given to the MJ15. Over.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the proposed changes for license number 19204, Mikey's Place. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Miller. Is there anybody online from Mikey's Place LLC?
Yes, William Eubanks, owner.
Thank you, Mr. Eubanks. Is that EU?
EUBANKS, yes, sir.
Yeah, I figured the banks part. I just want to make sure I was right on the EU. Are there any questions of the applicant from the board?
No, sir.
All right, then.
I guess I did reverse that, isn't it? Is there any question from the board to the applicant? Okay, hearing none. The motion before us is to approve the operating plan changes for license 19204. Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
And I'm a yes. Okay, so that concludes the section on operating plan changes. There were several people that were not online. So I will go back through this before we move on. So is there anybody online from Pine Street Cannabis Company, license 10137?
Yes, this is Chad Ebenezer, Pine Street Cannabis Company.
Okay, Chad, let us all get back on the right place, and then we will, okay, so we had a motion to approve the changes. We'd heard from Mr. Klinkert. Is there any questions of the applicant from the board?
We're trying to get back to the right tabs. Pine Street, what tab is that?
It's tab 40, Pine Street Cannabis Company.
Ah, okay, found it again. Thank you.
The second one down under operating plan changes.
Got it. Thank you.
Give everybody a chance to get on the right page. Okay. Again, are there any questions from the board members for this applicant? Okay, hearing none. On the motion to approve the operating plan changes for license 10137, Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm a yes, so thank you very much, and thank you for getting back online. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, the next one that was moved on down was tab 44, Cloudberry Cannabis. Is there anybody online from Cloudberry Cannabis?
Yes, this is Dave Shimmick, online for Cloudberry.
What was your name again?
Dave Shimmick. My daughter Lily has been trying to get on the line for a half hour or so, but I don't think she's on.
Okay. Are you one of the owners? Because we have listed Lily and Joseph.
Yeah, no, I am not. I am the father of both of the licensees and also the landlord, the owner of the building. I'm the only one on the line at this point.
Okay. What's the will of the board? Do you want to continue to wait to see if one of the owners gets on, or what would we do? And I realize that some people are having trouble getting onto the bridge, so.
Mr. Chair, this is Jaime. I was one to raise the objection of the people not being present, but if the landlord's present, this appears just to be a change in the diagram and the bathroom or changing the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Is there somebody else said something?
I was just going to voice essentially the same. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Wilson. Yes.
Oh, I was just going to suggest perhaps Mr. Shimmick could try to conference in his daughter and son. But if you're fine going ahead with Mr. Shimmick, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to point out.
So, are there any questions at this point? Okay. Hearing no questions, on the motion to approve the operating plan changes for Cloudberry Cannabis, license 11547, Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Heine.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much, Mr. Shimmick, and you can pass that message on to your daughter.
I will do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, the next one that we had moved was tab 45, Northern Lights Cultivation 2, license number 12176, and this is in Ketchikan. Is there anybody online from Northern Lights Cultivation 2? Okay, so we will continue to come back to that a little bit later. The next one that we had gone over was tab 47, Glacier Bay Farms, license 12680. Is there anybody online from Glacier Bay Farms in Haines?
Yes. Yes, I am online.
Your name, please?
Carol Waldo, I'm owner.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Waldo. We appreciate you getting online. Are there any questions from the board to the applicant, license number 12680?
This is Jaime. I just have a quick question that it looks like the wastewater is going to be trucked off the premises and disposed in the city's sewage system. Is that by commercial use? Or are you using a commercial service to do that, or do you plan on doing it yourself?
We will do it ourselves. There isn't a commercial service. Right now it's going into a big storage tank because we just have one building. There's not very much every day. But we're storing it until the weather warms up a little bit.
Are you going to be able to obtain receipts from the city of Haines, or are they charging you for dumping this wastewater?
I don't think they're going to charge us.
I just want to ensure that this wastewater is disposed of properly and not just dumped down a sewage tank or.
Oh, no, no. No,
area.
no, I wouldn't do that. No, it'll be taken care of properly.
All right. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to amend the original motion with delegation that enforcement checks when they have the opportunity to. I understand with the COVID scare and it might be a while, but that eventually that enforcement does go down and ensure that its wastewater is disposed of properly.
Okay, is there any objection from the maker of the motion to adding that delegation?
No objection.
Okay. Any other questions of the applicant?
No,
Okay,
not
so the motion before us then is to approve the operating plan changes for license 12680 with delegation. Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And Jaime, yes. So thank you very much, and appreciate you calling back in.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. The next one is license 14467. That's tab 51, Tanana Herb Company, LLC. Is there anybody online from Tanana Herb Company, LLC?
Yes, this is Leslie Nunley, owner. I am here.
Thank you, Ms. Nunley. Are there any questions of the applicant from the board?
I'm just looking at the footprint here. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Schulte, you're on.
Okay. So are you changing the distribution of rooms, or are you just changing the extent of the restricted access area?
We are asking to use more of the restricted access area than we had previously been using. We're adding more grow rooms, and those areas before were just open storage space.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the floor plan here. Got it. Okay, so you're just going to subdivide that existing open space into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rooms, looks like?
Yeah. 8 on the lower floor and the mezzanine level as well.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
Great. This is Jaime. Is there a diagram attached to this? An MJ02?
It is. It's the MJ14. It's the MJ14. The third from last document is the floor plans, or third from last page is the floor plans.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to fish for that.
Okay. Nope. I'm good then. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any more questions of Tanana Herb Company from the board?
Not for me.
Okay. Then on the motion to approve the changes, operating plan changes for license 14467, Tanana Herb Company, LLC. Mr. DeShook?
Yes.
Mr. Heine?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
And I am a yes. So thank you very much for calling back in, Ms. Nunley. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
So the next one is tab 52, 2 birds, 1 stoned, license 17445. Is there anybody online from 2 birds, 1 stoned? Okay, hearing none, I believe that leaves us with, and make sure that Ms. Craig has this, Northern Lights Cultivation, tab 45, and tab 52, 2 birds with one stoned, or with, I guess, and I added the with. We will come back to those a little bit later. Okay, so we are on to the section of new products, and some of this may move quickly, some of this may not, but we are going through here, and I really do appreciate all of the quickness with which we're able to move through this. So we are at tab 54, license number 10082, Einstein's Labs. Mr. Klinkart.
Members of the board, Einstein Labs, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of one new product. It is attached to the MJ16. Over.
Okay, is there a motion from the board?
Move to approve product for license number 10082 Einstein Labs. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second. This is Jaime. I guess I'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Miller's having trouble with his mute button, I'm sure. All right, so the product before us is applesauce. Is there anybody online from Einstein Labs?
Yes, this is Justin Rowland, Einstein Labs.
Hi, Justin.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Okay, so the product is applesauce. Is there any questions from the board to the applicant? Excuse me, there's some people either got a fax machine going or discussion going. If you can mute your phone, please. Be really helpful for us to get through our business today. Are there any questions of Einstein Labs? Okay, hearing none. On the motion to approve a new product, applesauce, Mr. DeShook?
Yeah.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Somebody, if they could mute their phone, I'm getting the echo back. I would really appreciate it. If you don't need to be talking, you should be muting your phone. Okay, the next item is tab 55, Top Hats Concentrates, license number 10271. Mr. Klinkart.
Members of the board, Top Hat Concentrates LLC, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of three new products. Attached is the MJ16. Over.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to approve new products for license number 10271 Top Hat Concentrates. Schulte.
Okay. Is there a second?
Jaime will second it.
Okay. All right. Who is online for Top Hats Concentrates?
Jana Waltzine, attorney for Top Hat Concentrates, and John Nemeth is also on the line.
Who is the other person?
John Nemeth.
Oh, okay. You're cutting out on the last name, but I think I know who that is. Okay. The three products, and at least listed on the tabs, each product is a separate tab. There is distillate, which I show they're going to use in bulk or used in cartridges. Rosin and a rosin cartridge are the three new products. Are there questions from the board to the applicant on any of those three products?
This is Jaime. Just a quick question on the rosin. It says it's a child-resistant glass jar. I haven't seen one of those in person, so I don't know what that looks like. And is this a fair representation in MJ16 of what it is?
Ms. Waltzine.
Yes, I'm going to let John answer that question. John, can you pipe in on that question?
Yes, hi there, John Nemeth here from Top Hat Concentrates. Yeah, they're a press fit, much like a pill bottle and glass jar. So there you have to be pressed down, remove cap.
Works for me, thank you.
Interesting.
Okay. Are there any other questions of the applicant on the three products, new products proposed?
Not really a question, Mr. Chairman. I just comment there's some very professional looking packaging. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
John, that's to John actually, but I say thank you for him.
Thank you.
Okay. So no other questions I'm hearing. So on the new products, distillate, rosin and rosin cartridge for Top Hats Concentrates LLC, license number 10271. Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
And I'm a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next one, gotta find the right place here. Tab number 56, Lady Grey Gourmet Medibles, license 12254, Mr. Clinkhart.
Members of the board, Lady Grey Gourmet Medibles, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of 2 new products attached to the MJ16. The proposed product elixir contains an ingredient that the licensee wishes to keep confidential. The MJ16 is included, that is including your packet, is a non-confidential. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the new product for license number 12254, Lady Grey Gourmet Medibles. Schulte.
Okay, and those two, there are 2 products, Elixir and High Tea. Who is online for Lady Grey Gourmet Medibles?
General Team Attorney for Lady Grey and Tasha. Can you introduce yourself too?
Hi, Tasha Grossel, owner, Lady Grey.
Okay. Are there questions from the board on these applications?
This is Jaime. Just a quick clarification. So we're looking at the non-confidential PDF. Will the AMCO office get the confidential one so that they can verify that the ingredients are on a list of approved products or ingredients?
Through the chair,
Ms. Wellstein.
you should actually have the confidential one in front of you. Because it's already been submitted. It was submitted with the non-confidential one, and I believe you probably have it in your tab. Unless, Carrie, am I incorrect on that?
It is most likely in the confidential, not for public tabs that was sent.
Tab 7?
I'm not sure what tab. I haven't looked there, so, but basically what is labeled for us is the non-confidential. I'm assuming that is because whatever goes out on the tabs is public information. So if people can find their section, I'm guessing that may have come out later because I didn't see any tab that said we're confidential for this meeting, so that was probably another one I missed. The only question I had, and maybe this is to Ms. Wilson, is that this is an edible. And since it's an edible, we do require that the ingredients be on the label. So how can we approve a product that says that they have a confidential ingredient when in fact that ingredient has to be on the label for consumer protection so a consumer knows what is in the product that they're consuming? So,
That is
Ms. Wilson,
that's an excellent question, Mr. Chair. I'm trying to think if there's any comparison to, for example, Coca-Cola never sharing its proprietary recipes, but here you have a requirement that ingredients be disclosed. I don't know if council has anything to add to that, but I would think that's a problem.
Yes, through the chair, I do have something to add to that. So the ingredients that are there, the surfactant / emulsifier, The only thing that is not there is the provider of that emulsifier, is the manufacturer. And the name of the manufacturer is what's in your confidential tab. That is the only omitted information. But the actual ingredients will say emulsifier or surfactant, but it just won't identify the manufacturer.
Ms. Wilson, is that manufacturer another licensed marijuana?
No, because it's not a marijuana product. It's an emulsifier.
Okay. So you're using a craft brand or a
Correct.
Hyman's, Hellman's, or whatever, and they don't allow you to say what that product is?
It's just the manufacturer's name. That's the only thing we're omitting because staff wanted to know where is this emulsifier / surfactant coming from, and so we disclosed that in the confidential MJ16 that you have, but not on the public MJ16.
And so you have verified that this manufacturer is a licensed producer of a food product that can be consumed.
Correct. And Tasha, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we sent the like a brochure to that effect that kind of explains from the manufacturer, but I could be confused.
No,
okay, so if I can maybe, Ms. Wilson, trying to paraphrase here, it's basically not a confidential ingredient. It's just a commercial product that's available that they don't want to name in public, but so I guess are we in a better shape?
Yes, but here's my thought in just looking through types of emulsifiers. I'm seeing egg yolk, soy lecithin, mustard, lots of words I can't pronounce. Is there a way to at least identify the source of the emulsifier, the food or chemical source?
Tasha, I'm going to punt that one to you, but I believe the answer is yes.
Yeah, I think, just like they disclose allergens and contains on FDA-approved labels.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the best route. Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend you look at the ingredient list of the emulsifier if you can get it, and if you can identify the food source, basically, the food or chemical source is what I'm seeing on labels.
Okay.
Okay, so we will, I will...
Chair, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Carrie Craig. I did send out an email to most of you with those confidential tabs. There's another one coming up, I believe, as well. So those should be in your email boxes, and I apologize for that mishap.
Okay, fine. I'm going to, on this approval, add a delegation related to the label so that we know the label will be changed to maybe not identifying that it's a Hellman brand or a Calf brand or it comes from Heinz, but if there's any allergens or the source of the emulsifier, the ingredient source. Are there any other questions from the board on either Elixir or High Tea for Lady Grey Medibles?
I don't have any. This is Jaime. I don't have any questions, but I would like to say in your delegation, I'd like for that at least to go through you as well. You seem to be kind of expert on these edibles and ingredients and labeling. So I'd like you to at least have the final word.
I don't know that I have the right to have the final word, but I would ask Mr. Klinkard to sort of give me a heads up when he gets the updated list. Okay, so with the motion to approve with delegation license the new products Elixir and High Tea for Lady Grey Gourmet Medibles, Mr. Deshuk.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I am a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are on to tab 57, which is Secret Garden Cannabis License 12769. Mr. Klinkart.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, Secret Garden Cannabis, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of 7 new products. Attached are the MJ16 product pages for each product. There is a question for the board. The licensee submitted 1 MJ16 proposed new marijuana product with 4 different names: Backwood, Boom Blunts, Canagar, Boom Fiber, and Boom Blunt. Wanted to make sure that you are comfortable allowing this. Over.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion from the board?
Move to approve the new products for license number 12769, Secret Garden Cannabis. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Who is on the line for Secret Gardens Cannabis?
Jana Weltine, attorney for Secret Garden Cannabis, and James Thornton is also on the line.
Okay, James.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Are there any questions from the board, either to the applicants or to the question raised by the director?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Bruce Schulte, I
Mr. Schulte
would like the applicant to just sort of explain why there's the same product with 4 names. I'm not quite sure. Are these just different variations, or what? Could you elaborate?
Ms. Weltine or James?
Yes, could you say which product again? I'm sorry, I was having a difficult time.
There are 4 products that the director has identified: Backwood Boom Blunts, Canagar, Boom Fiber, and Boom Blunts, that are identical products with different names. And I think the question was why, and are there some slight variations to having those 4 names on basically the same product.
Jana, would you like me to go ahead and...
Yeah. You can do it, or I can do it. It's up to you.
So these products, through the board, these products were previously approved through another licensee, and I believe he's online. Would it be permitted that he speak on this?
Well, no, I think I can handle this part. So basically, these are the same exact products, but we wanted to have different names because Greatland Ganja and Secret Garden, when they do this Boom Blunt, which would come from the flower would come from Greatland Ganja on this particular Boom Blunt, we wanted to be able to brand it that way. But James also wanted the flexibility to be able to brand it any other way that he's identified on these 4 product names, and not just be stuck to one product name for an infused blunt. So that's basically it. We just wanted to provide the different names that we wanted to be able to brand this product under, but not have to pay $250 for each basically brand name for the same product.
Okay, Mr. Schulte, do you have a follow-up?
No, I do not.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
I have a quick follow-up question.
Mr. Jaime.
So are more than one of these blunts going to be displayed at a time? That's almost deceptive advertising.
I guess I don't understand why it would be deceptive advertising. It would just be if, say Secret Garden used their own flower and not Greatland Ganja, because Greatland Ganja developed the name Bloom Blunt. Then it would be under one of the
deceptive part could be, here's, let me get a name, Boom Blunt, and then they say, well, this one's stronger. Even though it's the exact same thing, they can advertise it different ways. Going, well, this one has a better high, this one, has higher THC, even though it's the exact same product. So I'm just kind of curious.
They all will,
more than one.
Yeah. So they all will vary in THC range because, the different strains and the different test results will kind of dictate what the actual content is of the THC. But that really isn't the intent to kind of pit these products against each other because they are, essentially the same product. We just want the ability that if, say, Great Land Ganja runs out of flower one month and Cedar Garden has to use another cultivator or their own cultivation, they don't want to infringe on Great Land Ganja's name for balloon blends, and so they wanted to have alternatives.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate your explanation. But, Mr. Chairman, if we can separate the votes, because we're probably going to vote no on the first one, but yes on the others, on some of the others.
We can do that, yes. And I just want to find out if there's any other questions. Okay, Ms. Wilsine, I have a question on the remaining products. It's the same question. In the packaging, you show pouches, you show, looks like tab, cone, cylinders, products I've seen. You also indicate a clear plastic that looks like, prior to the coronavirus, plastic you would get at a salad bar. I'm not sure that meets our conditions for packaging, especially in products. Most of these products say keep frozen. So can you explain to me exactly what that clear plastic, and whether that's really an intention that you would have?
I mean, it's been on our packaging for this client since they developed. And James, no, I don't like the clamshell plastic, but he's never used it. And if he was to use it, it would have to be into an exit packaging bag, a refillable child-resistant exit packaging. Otherwise, it wouldn't be compliant to leave a retail store.
Right, but even if it was child-resistant exit packaging, when you got home, it would not be resealable as a child-resistant, and that's my problem. And I appreciate that he's never...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I appreciate that he's never used it, but unless you can assure me that it's child-proof when it gets home and opened and resealed, then maybe you should look at only proposing it if you do intend to use it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be showing it on these particular products.
Through the chair, James Thornton.
Yes, James.
Off. Sorry about that. We're willing to take it off. We're not planning on using it. We were using it as an option for flexibility. So,
okay, I would appreciate it if you don't show it on the paperwork, and that if you do change the products, that you come back in for an operating plan change, so we have a chance to review how you've solved what I think is probably an unsolvable problem.
Yes, sir.
Through the chair.
Mr. Miller.
Just for clarification, I don't want to set a precedent here that we have products in this industry that are not packaged child-resistant, but those items are put in child-resistant bags when they leave the facility, and those customers can put it back in after they take it out at home. And that has been an option that we've had since I can remember. So, these child-resistant bags, we buy them by the box, right? And if you have a package that isn't compliant at the retail sale, you put it in that bag when it leaves. And it is reusable and it is resealable. So I just want to make that clarification. I don't want to set a precedent here where we're saying that every product that we approve has to be in child-resistant packaging. What they have to say is when it leaves the retail store, it will be in a child-resistant package. Sorry for the
Thank you, Mr. Miller. That is something I think I'm aware of, but as you know, I tend to be a little bit pickier than others.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Schulte.
Yeah, I would echo Mr. Mr. Miller's comments, because what the regs, he's right. That is what the regulations say, that, as it leaves the store, it has to be in a child-proof opaque package, whether that's the end package, the retail product that's hanging on the wall or sitting under the counter, or a resealable exit package that they put it into. and it was the expectation that, you know, once it leaves the store, it becomes a responsibility of the consumer to, you know, maintain it in whichever of those two options there were. But I share his concern that I'd be very reticent to start introducing new interpretations of the regs, because that portion of the regs, the packaging part, was pretty clear.
Okay. All right. So, are there any other questions? Okay, so we have a motion to approve the products. We have been asked to separate the motion, and so on the motion to approve the products, backwood boom blunts, Conager boom fiber for boom blunt. Mr. Heine.
No.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Is that a yes, Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. DeShook.
No.
Okay, and I'm a yes. So on that motion passes. The second part of the motion would be to approve the remaining products: Blitz crackers, Chronic Crisp, Dill and Chill crackers, Easy Bakes, Garden Pop, and High Fives. So on that motion, Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Heine.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
And I am a yes. So that's the motion on license 12769. And so we will move on to tab 58.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We got Urban Extracts, license 14432. Mr. Klinkart.
Thank you, Chairman, members of the board. Urban Extracts, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of 3 new products. Attached to the MJ16 proposed new marijuana product for each product, and the product fast-acting cannabis oil emulsion contains an ingredient that the licensee wishes to keep confidential. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve new products for license number 14432, Urban Extracts. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there anybody online from Urban Extracts LLC?
General Dean and Lisa Cotes is out there. You see there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board to the applicant? Okay, and I will ask the question. The fast-acting cannabis oil emulsion is intended uses as edible/wholesale/ingredient. The only packaging that I see is basically a wholesale packaging. And again, is this, with the confidential, you have to have this product tested, and then if you sell it in wholesale to another provider, you have to give them the ingredients. So what part is confidential?
This is actually yep, thank you, through the chair. This is actually the exact same manufacturer that we discussed under the Lady Gray tab. So it's the exact same manufacturer, it's the exact same sulfentic and emulsifier. And so we could just provide that same delegation that you articulated. And I wrote it down, so I've got that down for this one as well.
Okay. there any other questions from the board on the three products, fast-acting cannabis oil emulsion, live resin CO2 oil vape cartridges, and wholesale infused alcohol tincture?
Mr. Chairman, for Schulte?
Mr. Schulte.
Yeah, just I guess kind of follow on to your comment. So these, well, actually the first two, the fast-acting cannabis oil and the infused alcohol tincture, those are for wholesale, but it looks like the last one, the live rosin CO2 vape cartridges, those would be a final retail product. Am I correct?
If you're asking me through the chair, yes. Yes, you're correct.
Yes, okay. So two wholesale products, one retail. Okay, because it does speak to the packaging. Again, very nice, very professional packaging on the third one. No other questions?
Okay, are there any other questions from the board? Okay, at Ms. Wilson's suggestion, we will add the same delegation on terms of the confidential ingredient to this motion if there's no objection. Okay, hearing none. So on the motion to approve the new products for Urban Extracts LLC, license 14432, products fast-acting cannabis oil emulsion, live resin CO2 oil vape cartridges, and wholesale infused alcohol tincture. Mr. Deshuk?
Yes.
Mr. Jaime?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
And I am a yes, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's see here. While I get back, takes me a minute here. We are at tab 59, which is Great Northern Manufacturing, Inc., license 17336. Mr. Klinkart.
Mr. Chair, this is Great Northern Manufacturing, Inc., a marijuana product manufacturing facility. The requested approval of 5 new products attached to the MJ16. Over.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move to approve the products for license number 17336, Great Northern Manufacturing, Inc. Schulte.
Okay, is there a second?
Got it. Second.
Mr. Miller, thank you. Okay, is there anybody online from Great Northern Manufacturing, Inc.?
Yes, this is John Redden, General Counsel of Great Northern Cannabis.
John Redden?
Yes.
And you're the General Counsel. Is any of the owners or online, or it's just you as the attorney?
Me, I represent the owners.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions from the board to...
This is Jaime. I'll probably have one. I'm just looking something up really fast.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions? I have one, and I think this will be part of the delegation. On the labels for all of these products, it's pretty self-explanatory. There's the sort of front and back. But under the ingredient list, it says filler ingredient list, and it's either a language I don't understand or you've made up words for the ingredients, which I assume would be filled in from up above. But you are pretty specific down below in terms of contains traces of dairy, nuts, soy, cannabis, and happiness. I don't know if you could have traces of happiness per se. And also no pesticides, fungicides, herbicides. Could you explain to me what is actually in the ingredients? Is that just simply words made up to fill up the space?
No, I think what we have is we have submitted several different
products and we included the ingredients in the application, the ingredients as listed in the application would be inserted in that example label that's provided so you can see what the label will look like in that portion that you're identifying. I think that is just sort of those are just made up words as sort of, because we'll have different ingredients based on different the different flavors essentially. That's what will be inserted in that space. So it's an example in order to save space. The ingredients will be the exact ones that are listed in the application.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board? Mr. Jaime, do you sorted out any question?
Well, I'm still looking, but you guys can probably answer this. These people have been on the board for a while. When it comes to serving size, how many milligrams is an individual allowed to walk up the door with? Is it 5.6 milligrams?
I believe it's 50. So you could have 5 milligram serving, and they could walk out with 5 or 10, but no more.
Actually it's 5,600 milligrams. 5,600 milligrams.
Okay.
Total, like in the bag as they walk out the door. So they could potentially have 100 of these 50 milligram cookies.
Okay, thank you.
Or a little bit over that, but
right.
This would be...
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, hearing none. The motion before us is to approve the new products for Great Northern Manufacturing, Inc., license 17336. And for the record, I show Nature Baked Chocolate Chunk Cookies, Nature Baked White Chocolate Orange Cranberry Cookie, Nature Baked Double Dark Chocolate Chunk Cookie, Nature Baked Little Saint Mint Cookie, and Nature Baked Oatmeal Chocolate Chunk Cookie. So on that motion, Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Okay, and I am a yes, so thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
So we will go on to tab 60, Creative Confections, LLC, license number 17389. Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, Creative Confections, LLC, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of 2 new products attached to the MJ16. Over.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Remind me which tab we're looking at here?
Tab 60, Creative Confections.
Okay.
License number 17389.
Thank you. I'm sorry, because I have 2 tab 60s. So, move to approve products for license number 17389, Creative Confections, LLC. Schulte.
Is there a second?
Second, yay.
Okay. There's a
Welcome
second.
back.
Okay, who is online from Creative Confections, LLC?
This is Jenny Koenig, owner.
Could you spell your first name for me, please?
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny, okay. I didn't hear that, so thank you very much. Are there any questions to the applicant from the board? Okay, hearing none, the motion is to approve the 2 new products for Creative Confections, LLC, license 17389. Those products are Fireweed Extracts Infused Joints and Fireweed Extracts Old School Hash. Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Welcome to the GCI Conference Center. Thank you. Please stand by. You will now be placed into conference. There are 59 participants in the conference.
Okay, there is a second. Who is online for Red Run Cannabis Cultivators, LLC? Is there anybody online from Red Run Cannabis Cultivators, LLC? Okay, we will move that to later in our agenda. So we are on tab 62, Cosmic Seaweed, LLC, license number 19728. Mr. Klinkhart.
Members of the board, Cosmic Seaweed LLC, a marijuana product manufacturing facility, is requesting approval of 8 new products attached to the MJ16. The product Chill Pill Canine Cookies are intended for canine consumption. Thank you.
Is there a motion?
Move to approve products for license number 19728, Cosmic Seaweed LLC. Schulte.
Second. Is there a second? There is a second. Who is online from Cosmic Seaweed Inc. or LLC?
Hello, Marijuana Control Board. This is Chris Logan, owner of Cosmic Seaweed.
Okay, thank you, Logan. Are there any questions from the board to the applicant?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Bruce Schulte.
Mr. Schulte.
Yeah, just, so are these all for pet consumption or just some of them?
Ms.
Which
Logan.
products are you referring to?
Okay, so, okay, I'm sorry. So, no, I think I answered the question. So, the Chill Pill Canine Cookies, those are the only ones that are for pets?
Yes.
Okay. And is that primarily a CBD product?
It's
or
about a 50% CBD, 50% THC, very low dose dog treat.
Okay. Interesting. And this may display my own ignorance of the pet market, but I guess I'm just accustomed to seeing more like CBD products for pets, but, okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Joan Wilson.
Yes, Ms. Wilson.
Regarding that same question, are we sure this is not, I can't tell the THC content. It says 1 milligram. I just want to make sure this is the proper body to be bringing this to versus the Division of Agriculture.
Would the Division of Agriculture have purview on
They are going to have, they have jurisdiction over endorsements for products to ensure that the product being sold has the requisite limit of THC. So yeah, they require either manufacturers or retailers to submit their products to testing to receive an endorsement for sale for public safety purposes.
To the chair, I'm confused. Are you saying that's the case only for this product because it's
for anything with that's going to be sold with 0.03 or less THC quantity that qualifies as industrial hemp. So what I can't tell is this product being produced from a plant that would be defined as industrial hemp or from a larger cannabis variety?
Through the chair, I think I may have skewed this entire conversation because I was asking if this was a CBD product, which would certainly imply that it's being produced from hemp. It's not that. It actually does have a roughly 50-50 THC CBD content, so it would have to come from the products that we regulate.
Mr. Chair, DeShock,
I think one of the things that we just need to think about is that we've got a pretty good understanding of the deviations in size of human consumption size, and it's been studied. We just got to make sure as a board, if we're going into THC products, etc., if we're looking at animals, giant variation between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane, or whichever else, making sure that we're taking the precautions that we don't find out that this is something that maybe somebody with experience in the veterinary standpoint, that would be maybe in Department of Agriculture, somebody that has a better understanding of the impacts of what we're approving.
Thank you, Mr. Bishop. That was going to be one of my questions. Mr. Klinkhart, my memory is always faulty, and I know that the office has tried to put up a list of approved products. Do you know, have we ever approved a product strictly for animals? I know the veterinary industry out there through the internet is really mixed in terms of their responses to issues around marijuana for pets and medical issues. So I was just curious, have we ever approved for pets?
Mr. Chair, in my extensive 4.5 months here, we have not, but we're checking with staff, and if anybody else online has any historical precedents, I would be more than happy to entertain it. Over.
Mr. Chair, this is Chris from Cosmic Seaweed.
Yes, Chris.
So the part of my reason for submitting this product is also to provoke this exact conversation from the board, whether or not the Marijuana Control Board for the state of Alaska is going to approve veterinary use. So there is one other product that we modeled our product after, and it's a dog treat. I can't remember the name of the manufacturer. Anchorage Bowl is the name of the manufacturer. And Lauren Jones requested that they label that product for human use only, but it's a dog treat. So that's a liability issue for the Marijuana Control Board, whether or not they want to allow this specific product for veterinary use, or if you would like us to label it for human consumption, we can do that, even though it's clearly not for human consumption.
To the chair, this is Carrie Craig, and to piggyback on that, staff has replied, and they say, to their knowledge, no, we have not had anything approved, and what Logan was saying, there was a product that was a dog biscuit shaped, but it was meant for human consumption. They do not recall if the board had approved it, but it sounds like that was approved. Thank you.
Okay, if I remember correctly, that was a product for human consumption, but was in the shape of a dog bone. And I believe that we wanted, if it was going to maintain that shape, consumers knew that they were buying something for human consumption and not something to give to an animal. I appreciate Ms. Logan's comments about this. I guess I would like to suggest that maybe we separate and table this particular product and ask our attorney to maybe research what kind of authority we might have or not have related to products that would be for pets, and we can bring this product back up in June once we have that information from the attorney. That would be a suggestion from me, and don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Ms. Logan?
That the Division of Agriculture does have jurisdiction over animal feed. So that another question I have is whether this actually qualifies as animal feed. I'm happy to take on that research project.
Thank you. Mr. Schulte.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I was just going to echo Mr. Dushak's comment. I mean, I've given cats catnip, and they seem to love it. But cats vary by weight by perhaps 10 or 20%, maybe even 30. But as he points out, a Chihuahua versus an 85-pound German Shepherd is a huge difference. And even a 1 milligram cookie, I have no idea what it would do to a tiny little dog, and I'm not sure I want to find out.
Is there a motion from the board then to table the product Chill Pill Canine Cookies till the June meeting with research being done by our attorney?
I would make that motion.
Okay, Mr. Schulte. There a second?
Second, DeShock.
Okay, there is a second. So on that motion, Mr. DeShook?
Yeah.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mr. Heine?
Yes. Mr. Heine.
Nope, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, good.
Okay, and I'm a yes. So we will table that product. So that brings us back to the main motion. So the products that we would be voting on, unless we have other questions, is Cosmic Capsules, chocolate chip cookies, distilled cannabis oil for vape cartridges, gummies, icing, or terp sauce. And I had a question on the icing, if I might, before we take a vote. Ms. Logan, it appears to me that you are going to make the icing. You are then going to buy from a commercial bakery the cinnamon bun, and then you're going to ice the cinnamon bun with this icing and sell it as a complete product. So you would have the cinnamon bun that has no THC in it, and then the icing with the THC in it. And it wasn't clear to me if that was a correct interpretation. So I wanted to get an understanding and then exactly how you would package and repackage a commercial product with the right labels so that people knew that the actual cinnamon roll was produced by somebody else and contained no THC. So could you explain that a little bit to me?
Yes, Mr. Chair. So this product is also a little bit outside the box of the usual Marijuana Control Board products. So in our usual circumstances, the retail store that we are getting ready to open here in the next month or two is right next door to a well-known bakery, and they have agreed to do an edible line for us. So this is the first product that we are trying to propose where they would bake the actual roll, and we would be able to sell a fresh baked roll in our dispensary. And then the method of having the icing tested, keep it in the freezer so we could dose those rolls exactly. We would set them out in a display case, and then any rolls that were left at the end of the day would be wrapped and put into the freezer. Everything would be put into a child-proof exit packaging. And it would be obvious from the green color of the icing that it is a marijuana-containing product. So your interpretation was correct. That sounded to me to be correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the board on these products?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Mr. DeShook.
So a question back to the rolls, just to make sure I understand. The handlers would be icing the cinnamon rolls, or the consumer would be icing the cinnamon rolls?
Oh, through the chair. I'm sorry, I didn't explain. So our manufacturing facility is 50 feet from our retail store. So we would bring the baked goods to our manufacturing center. They would be iced by myself, probably, one of our marijuana handler card technicians inside of our manufacturing facility, and then they would be immediately transferred to our retail store.
And so, okay, and so the any THC content is going to be in both products, roll and icing, or only in one?
The THC would be only in the icing.
And so then my question on that is, who puts the icing on the cinnamon roll?
The owners of the manufacturing, we would do it in our manufacturing facility and transfer the completed product to our retail store. We would transfer it that way.
I find this one to be a really neat, method of providing an edible. The one concern that I would have is, I think that there's some variation in this compared to other products because it's not as easy to label. This is where the 5 milligrams end, or this ends. There's not whereas cookies, etc., have dividers, and other products have dividers, so that the consumer knows exactly how much they're getting. I think it would be difficult with the icing, and one potential alternative, if the board chooses not to approve this, would be to provide smaller packets that the consumer could put on the roll themselves. That would be another option. I'm not sure. Maybe we just approve this, but I think that's something for us to consider.
Okay. Is there a motion to have a separate vote on this product, separate from the other products? Okay, not hearing any motion on that front. Are there any other questions to Ms. Logan? Okay, hearing none. The motion before us then is to approve the remaining new products, which would be Cosmic Capsules, chocolate chip cookies, distilled cannabis oil for vape cartridge, gummies, icing, and terp sauce. Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Jaime.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
And I'm a no, simply because of the icing, but those are approved. Okay, so according to my list, we are done with all of the tabs. I'm going to go back and check. Okay, so we have back under operating plan changes, we had Northern Cultivation, license 12173, tab 45. Is there anybody online from Northern Lights Cultivation? Okay. Then we had license 17445, Two Birds, One Stone, tab 52. Is there anybody online from Two Birds, One Stone? Okay, hearing none. On license 19372, Red Run Cannabis Cultivators, LLC. Is there anybody online from Red Run Cannabis Cultivators, LLC? Okay, hearing none, I will come back to those after our lunch break. After the lunch break, we will start in on regulation projects, the board's request, and I know that some board members are going to have some ideas and discussions about emergency regulations. So we will sort of deal with that down through consideration emergency delegation authority when we get back. But when we come back from lunch, I will go back through the list on those, I think, 3 remaining applications. And yes, who's online?
Yeah, this is Mark from Red Run. There has been a problem with that 800 number. I have not been able to get in here this whole entire morning, just up until about 2 minutes ago.
Okay, thank you. I know there has been a problem. I had to dial in 3 or 4 times myself in order to get a dial tone. Okay, so we have time here. So Red Run, Cannabis. Okay, so that is tab 61. And it is license number 19372, Red Run Cannabis Cultivators LLC. We have a motion on the floor to approve the new products. And let me see if I can get to that. Okay, the products are Blueberry Hashade, Diamonds, and Raspberry Hashade. Are there any questions from the board to Red Run Cannabis Cultivators? Okay. For the record, who's representing Red Run, could you state your name again so we have it on the record?
Yes, Mark, M-A-R-C, Tyler, T-H-E-I-L-E-R, and I am one of 2 owners of Red Run Cannabis Cultivators, LLC.
Okay. And again, are there any questions from the board? Okay, hearing none. The motion is to approve 3 products, Blueberry Hashade, Diamonds, and Raspberry Hashade. So on that motion, Mr. DeShook.
Yes.
Mr. Heine.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
And I am a yes. So thank you for persisting to get through, and we apologize, but getting on the line has been not under our control at this point. So thank you very much. I appreciate you hollering out before I recessed into lunch.
Yeah, right on. Well, I appreciate you guys sticking in there and proceeding with everything. So very much appreciate you guys and all the work that you do. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
yep.
So I show it is 11:55, and I will ask people to dial back in so that we are back online as close to 1 o'clock or 1:05 as we can be, and we will try to go down other vendors if people know the other licensees that have not responded. If you could reach out to them and have them on at 1 o'clock, that would be good. And then we will proceed on to the last page of our meeting, which is regulations and consideration of emergency delegation. I appreciate everybody able to get through all this morning, and call back in and to be ready by 1 or 1:05. So I'm going to disconnect and enjoy my lunch. Thank you.